25 years is a long time to spend with someone. For a lot of us, that's a quarter of our life. We all hope to find that special someone to spend the rest of our lives with, and I'm proud to say that my parents have found that person. I'm their kid, so I would know. Today, I'll share how my parents met, their first date, and their favorite moments together. Right now, I'll describe how they met. My parents met through mutual friends who were acquaintances for about a year before they dated. My mom had been into my dad the whole time, and my dad says that he had his eye on her too. Sadly, he was with someone at that time, so my mom had to move on. Several months later, my dad broke up with his then girlfriend, but my mom was with someone. He asked his friends, their mutual friends, for any updates in my mom's relationship with her then boyfriend so that he knew when he could swoop in. My mom and her boyfriend broke up, and a month or so later, she and my dad started talking. One night, he hung around the gym my mom worked at, talked to her until she got off the clock. They went out to the parking lot, kept talking. He walked her to her car, brushed her hair out of her face, and kissed her. 3 days later, they went on their first date. Now that I've talked about how they've met, I'll talk about their first date. It was really sweet. They both loved being outside, so they went for a walk in the park. My dad had a tennis match that day, so they couldn't meet until 6 that night. My mom showed up right on time, like she always does, and she waited, and she waited, and she waited. He showed up an hour and a half late. My mom got so mad, she almost just left, but my dad called just in time, saying that he was on his way. My mom still waited, but my dad was on thin ice. He was about as mad at himself as my mom was at him. After they started walking, he told her he picked that place because it's the best place to watch the sunset. Since his tennis match went long, he showed up too late for them to actually watch it together. It wasn't all bad though. They had a great time. They talked for hours and got to watch the stars together. Now that I've shared their first date, I'll share some of their favorite moments together. For the next few months, they saw each other almost every day. My mom would stop over at his house after work, or he'd drive to meet her for lunch. They got so used to seeing each other all the time, they were hit like a ton of bricks when my mom got mono. Somehow, my dad didn't get it, but they wanted to keep it that way. They couldn't see each other for about 2 weeks. It was hard for them. As soon as those 2 weeks were over, my mom drove over to see him. They hugged for so long, and that was the moment that my mom realized that she loved him. I know everyone says this, but my mom and dad really do have something special. They've been through the good times and the bad. Their love will never die. Happy 25th anniversary, Mom and Dad.